walked in like summer heat in the middle of my cold. Every word you whispered softly felt like stories yet untold. But the warmth you kept inside you never made it to my skin. You were burning bright with passion, but I never let you in. I kept reaching for the sunlight in the shadows of your eyes, but the spark you lit inside me felt like flames that never rise. And I didn't see the danger, didn't know what you required, till I tasted all the heartbreak in your quiet, cold fire in your touch. How could something burn this much? All the heat you gave in moments never turned to warmth or trust. I was melting into heartache as your flame kept growing higher. Now I'm left here in the ashes of your frozen cold fire. You were lightning without thunder, just a flash that came and went. And the warmth you gave so freely felt like love you never meant. Every spark was like a warning, every kiss a fleeting thrill. But the fire in your heartbeat never stayed with me to feel. And I kept on trying harder just to feel you underneath. But the warmth was only surface, like your love was losing teeth. And I realized in the quiet where your lies began to tire, you were never truly burning, just a fading cold fire in your touch. How could something burn this much? All the heat you gave in moments never turned to warmth or trust. I was melting into heartache as your flame kept growing higher. Now I'm left here in the ashes of your frozen cold fire. Maybe love is made of warmth, maybe yours was made of smoke. Just a flame that keeps pretending till the heart begins to choke. And I held you like an ember till the pain grew through my veins. Now the cold is all that's left of every spark that once remained. But I'm learning through the frost now, feeling pieces rewire, healing everything that shattered from your bittersweet cold fire in your touch. Now I've learned it was too much. Every dream you burned beside me left me lost inside the hush. But I'm rising from the ashes as the night grows slightly higher. I'm no longer freezing slowly from your half-lit cold fire. So I walk into the sunrise, leaving all that pain behind. Cold fire in the distance, but my heart is warm this time. I still remember how you whispered, like your voice could warm my skin. But every promise turned to cinders when the truth came breaking in. You spoke love like it was fire, soft and burning in the night. But the smoke behind your sentences made the warnings feel too bright. And I'm breathing all the sweetness till I tasted fading death. Now every word you ever gave me left just ashes on your breath. And it hit me like a season when the cold outgrew the rest. Your love was only smoke and ember with the ashes on your breath. Ashes on your breath, love that's dying, losing death. Every promise that you whispered felt like kept talking like you meant it, but your eyes were somewhere else, and the tenderness you offered never matched the truth I felt. All the passion in your heartbeat wasn't meant to keep me near, and the flame inside your language never made its meaning clear. I kept swallowing the moments, I kept hoping for the best, till your lies turned into embers and left ashes on your breath. And the silence grew much louder where your love had grown obsessed, not with holding but with fading into ashes on your breath. Ashes on your breath, love is dying, losing death. Every promise that you whispered felt like fire without a heft, and the warmth I kept believing turned to coldness second left. All I tasted from your loving was just ashes on your breath. Maybe you were burning out long before you said goodbye. Maybe I was breathing remnants of the love you let run dry, and I held you like the last spark of a flame already gone, till the ashes that you carried made me finally move on. Now the smoke begins to clear out and my lungs can feel their depth. I'm not choking on the remnants of the ashes on your breath. Ashes on your breath, now I see what's left of death. Every moment that felt warming hid the cold inside your chest, and I'm stepping from the fire with a heart that won't regress, leaving you with all the remnants of the ashes on your breath. And the wind carries the last of it, every lie you ever left, fading softly into nothing, with the ashes on your breath. The fire died without a warning, just a flicker, then a fade, and the smoke curled through the silence like a memory unmade. I kept searching for the embers where our warmth once used to be, but the ashes on the floorboard say you never burned for me. And I'm standing in the ruins of a flame that lost its glow, trying not to fall to pieces when the wind begins to blow. 'Cause the truth feels cold and heavy when the past is all you know. And I shiver through the smoke now as I watch the last light go. I shiver through the smoke, breathing in the words you spoke. Every promise that you left me feels like fire you never stoked, and the warmth I tried to follow left me burning, tired and broke. Now I'm standing in the shadows as I shiver through the smoke. Your shadow flickers on the wall still, like a ghost of who you were, and the memories keep circling till the lines all start to blur. I remember how you held me like a flame that couldn't last. Now I'm choking on the remnants of a love burned out too fast. I keep reaching for the moments where your warmth once felt alive, but the smoke keeps pulling tighter like it wants me not to thrive. And the truth becomes a whisper in the ashes where you broke. I can barely feel my heartbeat as I shiver through the smoke. I shiver through the smoke, breathing in the words you spoke. Every promise left me near. I shiver through the smoke, but I'm learning not to choke. All the fire you left inside me now feels smaller as I cope. And I'm stepping out of shadows with a heart you won't revoke, leaving all your dying embers as I shiver through the smoke. Like a truth I couldn't cloak, I am breathing on my own now as I shiver through the smoke. Shiver through the smoke. I felt the heat inside your heartbeat, even when the world was cold. Like a fire trapped in winter, struggling just to take a hold. And the frost along the windows never matched your burning eyes, but the warmth you gave in moments felt like half-remembered lies. You were fire in a blizzard, something wild I couldn't know, but I lost myself in trying to keep burning in the snow. And the truth began to shimmer as the wind began to blow. I was losing who I used to be while I kept burning in the snow, chasing warmth you wouldn't show. Every time I reached for sunlight, you just turned and let it go. And the cold became a fire that I didn't want to know. Still I stayed there, barely breathing, while I burned inside the snow. Your touch could melt the silence, but it never melted me. And the heat you claimed was passion never set my soul free. You were danger in a whisper, you were frostbite in a kiss, something beautiful and deadly in a moment wrapped in bliss. And I held on like a candle in a storm I couldn't slow, still convinced that I could survive while I burned beneath the snow. But the truth kept pulling harder than the reasons I would show. I was breaking just by staying in your cold fire shadow, burning in the snow, chasing warmth you wouldn't show. Every time I reached for sunlight, you just turned and let it go. And the cold became a fire that I didn't want to know. Still I stayed there, barely breathing, while I burned inside the snow. Maybe love can melt a glacier, maybe fire can change its fate, but not when one heart's freezing and the other hesitates. And I kept pretending we were something strong enough to grow, till the truth beneath the ashes left me shivering below. And heat means nothing, and you're the only one who glows when your heart keeps disappearing and you leave me in the snow, burning in the snow. Now I finally let it go. All the flames you fed me blindly left me colder than I know. And I'm walking from the fire with a heart ready to grow, leaving you behind forever where I burned inside the snow. And the frost It always hits me after midnight, when the world feels too undone, when the silence fills the corners where you used to be someone. Every shadow feels like memory, every breath a quiet ache, and the truth you left behind me feels like something hard to shake. I replay the broken moments like a song that won't rewind, and the hours after midnight show the pain you left behind. It's the time when all the heartache turns to echoes in my mind. Every lie you ever whisper growing sharper with the time. Heartbreak after midnight, when the dark won't treat me right. Every dream I had of holding you falls faster into night, and the pieces of my heartbeat feel too fragile in this light. Crying softly in the quiet of the heartbreak after midnight. I thought time would make it lighter, thought the nights would start to heal, but the pain keeps getting louder when the moonlight turns surreal. Your ghost sits in the doorway, your voice lingers in the air, and I reach for faded memories, knowing you're no longer there. It's the hour when the truth hits harder than the reasons why, in the quiet after midnight, when it hurts to even try. And I wonder if you feel it, or if you've already passed by, while I'm left with what you shattered under darkness in the sky. Heartbreak after midnight, when the dark won't treat me right. Every dream I had of holding you falls faster into night, and the pieces of my heartbeat feel too fragile in this light. Crying softly in the quiet of the heartbreak after midnight. Maybe grief loves empty hours, loves the moments time forgets, where the past becomes a mirror filled with shadows and regrets. And I sit inside the darkness with the weight of what we were, letting all the hurt unravel in the silence you prefer. But there's something in the stillness that begins to shift inside. Though it hurts me after midnight, it won't break me when I write right. Heartbreak after midnight, but I'll make it through the night. Every tear that falls in silence teaches me to stand upright, and the wound you left is healing, though it stings beneath the light. I'm still breathing through the shadows of the heartbreak after midnight. And the morning finds me fragile, but a little more alright. Moving slowly from the ruins of the heart heartbreak after midnight. I can still feel where you touch me, like a spark beneath my skin. Even though the fire faded long before we reached the end, and the warmth that once felt healing left a scar I can't reclaim. Now I'm bleeding from the remnants, from the splinters of your flame. Every memory cut sharper than the truth we try to keep, and the echoes of your passion haunt me when I'm supposed to sleep. You were heat that turned to ashes, and you were love that wouldn't stay, leaving splinters of your wildfire in the parts you burned away. Splinters of your flame, burning me in every frame. Every kiss you left behind me still feels carved into my name. And I wish that I could shake them, but they stay inside the same. Every piece of you is living in the splinters of your flame. I keep pulling out the moments like they're stuck beneath my ribs. Try to breathe without the bruising of the love you never gave. And I try to let it settle, but the sparks refuse to die. Every ember from your fire still feels burning in my side. You didn't leave me with closure, just this cold and heated shame. And the fragments of your passion cut like splinters from a flame. And I wonder if you feel it, or if loss just feels the same, or if you walk away unbroken from my splinters of your flame. Splinters of your flame, burning me in every frame. Every kiss you left behind me still feels carved into my name. And I wish that I could shake them, but they stay inside the same. Every piece of you is living in the splinters of your flame. Maybe some love scorched forever, even when the fire is done, leaving pieces of their memory in the shadows they outrun. And I held you like a wildfire, thinking maybe I could tame, but you left me with the sharpest broken splinters from your flame. So I'm learning how to heal them, how to breathe without the pain, taking back the parts you shattered one by one again. Splinters of your flame, but I'm rising all the same. Every shard you left inside me now feels smaller in its claim. And I'm breaking through the damage, though the scars still spell your name. I'm reclaiming all the pieces from the splinters of your flame. And the fire that once broke me feels like something I outgrew, just a memory in the ashes of the splinters left by you. We used to hold each other tightly, like the world could fall apart. But your fingers turned to winter long before you left my heart. And the closeness we once clung to became frost beneath my skin. Every time you pulled away away, love. Let the cold come creeping in. I kept trying just to warn you, but you didn't understand. We were breaking in the silence of the freeze between our hands, and I felt the ice get thicker every day you turn away, till I couldn't feel your heartbeat in the words you didn't say. The freeze between our hands was more than I could stand. Every time I tried to reach you, you just slipped like melting sand. And the love we built together faded faster than we planned, leaving nothing but the coldness in the freeze between our hands. I used to blame the seasons for the chill I felt at night, but the truth was in your distance. You had already lost the fight, and I watched your warmth unravel like a thread pulled out too far, till the fire we thought was endless couldn't even light a spark. You were fading into shadows while I tried to understand why the warmth we had was dying in the freeze between our hands. And I tried to melt the silence, tried to hold what wouldn't land, but you can't unbreak the winter in a heart you can't command. The freeze between our hands was more than I could stand. Every time I tried to reach you, you just slipped like melting sand. And the love we built together faded faster than we planned, leaving nothing but the coldness in the freeze between our Maybe love just turns to winter when one heart stops burning bright, when the warmth becomes a memory slipping quietly through the night. And I held on like a fever, trying desperately to stand, but you left me numb and shaking in the freeze between our hands. And the moment I released you was the moment I could see the cold wasn't from the season, it was coming straight from you to me. The freeze between our hands has finally lost its stand. Every trace of love you offered feels like footprints in the sand, and I'm walking toward the sunlight where the warmth can understand, leaving all the icy silence in the freeze between our And the winter slowly softens as I rise and learn to stand, stepping out of what once broke me from the freeze between our hands. You lit a match inside my darkness, gave me sparks but never flaming. I mistook the sudden brightness for a love that finally came, but the warmth I kept expecting never found a place to land. Every glow you offered faded as it slipped out of my hand. I chased fire in your shadows, thinking he could take a form, but we lived inside a moment where love lit but never warm. And the truth hit like a whisper when the night began to storm. You were shining without burning, just a flame without the warmth. Love lit but never warm, beautiful but never formed. Every spark you gave I kept telling myself patience was the key to melting through, that your distance had a reason, that your cold was something new. But the truth was always simple, you were never made to stay. You were heat without a purpose, slowly fading day by day. And the more I tried to hold you, the more fragile we became. Nothing grows inside the embers of a love lit without flame. And I watched the light around you fail to shelter from the storm. All the beauty felt like heartbreak in a fire without the warmth. Love lit but never warm, beautiful but never formed. Every spark you gave was fleeting, never strong enough to transform. And I held on to the glimmer till my heart became the norm of a fire that only flickered. Love lit but never warm. Maybe some love shine like lanterns, but can't guide you through the night. Maybe some hearts glow with magic, but don't know how to burn bright. And I followed every flicker, thinking maybe there was more, till I learned you can't find comfort in a fire without a cold. And the moment I stopped waiting was the moment I felt free from a love that only shimmered, never burned enough for me. Love lit but never warm, now I see beyond the form. Every spark you gave was fragile, never built to weather storms. And I'm walking from the fire with a heart that can't transform, leaving you inside the shadow of a lit but never warm. And the cold begins to soften as the sunrise starts to form, stepping out of all the heartache from a love lit but never warm. Love lit but never warm. I saw your shadow in the firelight, fading soft against the wall, like a ghost made out of warmth that never really burned at all. And the embers held a memory of the heat you used to give, but the glow was always fleeting, like a love that wouldn't live. I reached out to touch the moment, but it slipped away so slow. All that's left of who you were is just your echo in the glow. And the truth feels sharp and empty in the ashes down below. You exist now like a whisper in the embers dying glow. Your echo in the ember glow, fading where the cold winds blow. Every trace of you that lingers feels like fire burned too low. I can almost hear you breathing in the shadows, moving slow. But you're gone and all that's left is your soft echo in the glow. I used to hold you like a promise, like the warmth would stay for good. But the fire you sparked inside me never lit the way it should. And I watched the embers flicker, see your outline start to fade. Just a hollow glowing memory of a heart you never gave. I still feel you in the quiet, in the nights I can't outgrow. But you're nothing but a remnant, just an echo in the glow. And I tell myself it's over, but the flames replay it slow. How you minutes live too close to pain. Maybe embers hold the memories when the fire won't sustain. And I watched you turn to flickers, watched your warmth turn into snow, till the last of all your heartbeat became echo in the glow. And I'm learning how to see you as a story losing light, something bright but never lasting, fading slowly from my sight. Your echo in the ember glow, I'm releasing as you go. Every time I try to feel you, it's just shadows dipping low. And the fire that we once held has no heat left now to show, only fading recollections of your echo in the glow. And the embers dim to darkness, soft and quiet, moving slow, as I finally stop listening for your echo in the glow. I remember how you touched me like the world was yours to hold, how your voice came soft and steady when my nights were growing cold. But something shifted in the shadows, something silent, something slight, and the warmth inside your heartbeat started slipping out of sight. You were standing right beside me, but your eyes were locked in vice. I still feel the moment breaking the night you went to ice. And I tried to call you closer, but you wouldn't pay the price. You were leaving me in silence from the night you turned to ice. The night you went to ice, I lost the love I sacrificed. All the fire we built together faded underneath your vice, and the flame that once felt endless cracked and never would suffice. I was left with frozen heartache from the night you went to ice. I kept watching for a reason, for a flicker in your gaze, but your warmth had disappeared, then buried deep in winter haze. And the words you left unspoken cut me colder than the truth. All the things we never dealt with turned to frost between your youth. You withdrew without a warning, left me guessing at the price. Everything we had stopped breathing the night you went to ice. And the silence froze around us like a storm without advice. You gave up on us completely on the night you turned to ice. The night you went to ice, I lost the love I'd sacrificed. All the fire we built together faded underneath your vice, and the flame that once felt endless cracked and never would suffice. I was left with frozen heartache from the night you went to ice. Maybe hearts don't break with thunder, maybe they just fade to snow, slowly pulling back their warmth till the other doesn't know. And I stood there in the quiet, watching love turn into frost, trying hard to understand you while the heat inside you lost. And I begged the cold to soften, begged your heart to thaw twice, but your shadow stayed unmoving from the night you went to ice. The night you went to ice. Now I finally see the price. Every moment I kept saving couldn't After all the frost you gave me, after nights I couldn't sleep, there were moments in the silence where a light began to creep. I could feel it barely glowing, like a whisper in my chest, something small but still surviving through the cold you left as rest. And I held it like a secret, soft and fragile, kept unseen, a reminder I was someone long before you burned me clean. And though your ice still lingers in the wounds you left behind, there are trembling sparks inside me you could never make unwind. Trembling sparks inside me, flickers fighting to be free. Every part of me you shattered still holds light you couldn't see. And the flame you tried to smother isn't gone entirely. I am rising from the ashes with these trembling sparks in me. You mistook my quiet grieving for a heart you broke for good, but the ache I felt was healing in the ways you never could. And the pieces of my courage found a pulse beneath the frost, proving even frozen fire doesn't ever stay lost. Now I feel them in my breathing, little embers coming clean, pushing back against the darkness where your shadow used to lean. And I know I'm barely shining, but I'm brighter than I've been. There are trembling sparks inside me, finding ways to live again. Trembling sparks inside me, flickers fighting to be free. Every part of me you shattered still holds light you couldn't see. And the flame you tried to smother isn't gone entirely. I am rising from the ashes with these trembling sparks in me. Maybe healing comes in flickers, not in fire all at once. Maybe strength will rise in whispers after heartache's heavy months. And I'm learning I'm still burning in the corners you can't claim. Even though you froze my edges, you could never kill my flame. So I'm reaching through the shadows toward the place I wanna be, letting trembling sparks remind me who I wasn't meant to be. Trembling sparks inside me grow, voice used to feel like summer, pulling sunlight through my chest. But you spoke a little colder every time our hearts were stressed. And the sweetness in your sentences turned to ice along the way, till your words became a winter I got lost in every day. Every promise cracked beneath me, every truth you left for dead, and the hurt began to settle like a frostbite on the words you said. And I tried to warm the silence, tried to thaw what you had bled, but the chill kept climbing deeper from the frostbite on your words unsaid. Frostbite on the words you said, cold enough to leave me dead. Every whisper that once held me turned to ice inside my head. And I tried to break the freeze and tried to find the love instead, but you left me numb and shaking from the frostbite on the words you said. You spoke love like it was distant, like a storm across the sea, and I kept pretending warmth was something you could give to me. But the truth behind your language had a chill I couldn't miss. Every maybe, every someday was a cold unfinished kiss. I kept reaching for the meaning till the heartbreak slowly spread, leaving nothing but the damage from the frostbite on the words you said. And the silence grew much louder in the space your love once led, till I felt my heartbeat weakening from the cold your truth had fed. Frostbite on the words you said, cold enough to leave me dead. Every whisper that once held me turned to ice inside my head. And I tried to break the freeze and tried to find the love instead, but you left me numb and shaking from the frostbite on the words you said. Maybe some words melt too slowly, maybe some just never thaw. Maybe love becomes a fracture when you see the cracks too raw. And I stood inside the blizzard of the truth I never read, till the letters lost their meaning in the frostbite you had spread. Now the cold is fading slowly, but the pain still feels widespread. I'm still learning how to thaw from all the frostbite on the words you said. Frostbite on the words you said. Frostbite on the words you said, but I'll rise from where I bled. Every frozen piece you gave me falls like snow from what we shed. And the warmth that's coming back now isn't yours, it's mine instead. I'm no longer living frozen by the frostbite on the words you said. And the winter slowly weakens where your coldness once had spread, as I breathe the world without you and your frostbite on the words you said. There was warmth inside your laughter, there was fire in your eyes, and I didn't see the warning in the comfort of your lies. Every moment you were gentle felt like sunlight on my skin, till the edges of your kindness cut me deeper than your sin. You were heat that felt like healing, till the burn became a lure. Now I know your love was where the heat first learned to hurt. And I held the blaze too tightly till the flames began to flirt with the pieces of my heart beating the heat that learned to hurt. Where the heat learned to hurt, where the truth lost all its worth. Every kiss that once felt burning left a scar I can't revert. And the fire you lit inside me turned to ashes in the dirt. Now I finally see the moment where the heat learned to hurt. You were warmth I kept returning to, thinking love could mend the breaks. But the closer that I held you, the more damage you would make. And the places you touch softest hold the coldest echoes now. You were teaching me that passion can still cut you down somehow. I learned pain inside the embers where your promises diverted. In the hollow burning places where the heat learned to hurt. And I tried to keep the fire, tried to give you what you'd shirk, but I only fed the shadows in the heat that learned to hurt. Where the heat learned to hurt, where the truth lost all its worth. Every kiss that once felt burning left a scar I can't revert. And the fire you lit inside me turned to ashes in the dirt. Now I finally see the moment where the heat learned to hurt. Maybe fire isn't evil, maybe warmth can still be kind, but it burns the deepest places when it leaves your heart behind. And I carried every ember, thinking love could reconvert, till I found the truth inside me of the heat that learned to Now the flames are dying slowly, and I'm breathing through the blur, letting go of every memory where the heat became my curse. Where the heat learned to hurt, now I rise from what occurred. Every wound you left inside me finds a voice I've long deferred. And the fire I'm rebuilding feels more gentle, more assured. Far away from all the moments where the heat learned to hurt. And the warmth I feel returning is a flame that I assert, no longer bound or broken by where the heat learned to hurt. There's a fire I never asked for, burning quiet, burning thin, not loud enough to scare me, but it never lets me win. Every time I start to heal it, flares up soft and pulls me in, like a memory you planted deep as silent flames beneath my skin. I keep touching old reminders, like the burn could disappear, but the heat you left behind you still crackles when you're near. And I wish I didn't feel it, wish the spark didn't begin, but your love became the reason for these silent flames within. Silent flames beneath my skin, burning where your hands have been. Every moment you abandoned left a heat I can't rescind, and the warmth you gave so briefly turned to fire I can't spin. Now I'm living with the aching of these silent flames within. I tried cooling down the heartache, tried to douse it with the truth, but the embers kept on glowing in the darkness of my youth. And the pain became a habit, one I never let begin, till I noticed how it flickered like silent flames beneath my skin. You became a kind of fever, burning gently, burning slow, a reminder how your passion never learned to let me go. And the fire stays unspoken in the wounds we left too thin. Living quiet, living endless, as the silent flames within. Silent flames beneath my skin, burning where your hands have been. Every moment you abandoned left a heat I can't rescind, and the warmth you gave so briefly turned to fire I can't spin. Now I'm living with the aching of these silent flames within. Maybe pain becomes a fire when you lose what felt like home, when the love you held so tightly leaves you burning all alone, and the embers find their shelter in the cracks you can't defend, till you're carrying the remnants of a flame you never penned. But I'm learning how to soothe it, how to breathe new air again, how to calm the sparks you left me as the silent flames weaken. Silent flames beneath my skin, but they're losing all their spin. Every ache you left is fading with the cold you lived within, and the fire turning softer feels like something I can win. I'm reclaiming every heartbeat from the silent flames within, and the heat you left grows quiet, like a whisper wearing thin, as I walk towards something gentle, past the silent flames within. There are chapters on my bedroom floor that we never got to read. Little moments we abandoned when our hearts began to bleed. And the promises we whispered never made it past the page, leaving ink that never settled from a love that lost its age. I keep staring at the pieces of a book we couldn't carry. All that's left of what we started are the ashes we must bury. And the truth feels cold and quiet when the past becomes a quarry. We're just standing in the remnants of an unfinished story. Ashes of the unfinished story, where we lost our faded glory. Every line we left unwritten feels like pain that won't restore me. And the ending that we wanted never had the chance to be. All we're holding now are ashes of the words you meant for me. You were pages filled with meaning, I was ink that tried to stay. But we tore ourselves to pieces when our truths got in the way. And the chapters turned to fire when the lies began to grow, leaving memories half written in the margins of the snow. I keep reaching for the sentences where you loved me honestly, but they burned before we lived them in the story left unfree. And I still feel ghosted endings in the parts you couldn't carry. Every dream we never finished in our unwritten story. Ashes of the unfinished story, where we lost our faded glory. Every line we left unwritten feels like pain that won't restore me. And the ending that we wanted never had the chance to be. All we're holding now are ashes of the words you meant for me. Maybe love is made of chapters, some we write and some we don't. Maybe closure isn't something that a broken heart can quote. And I tried to keep the pages from the fire you set inside, but the flames consume the future where our happiness once aligned. Still I gather all the remnants, even ones too dark to see, learning how to read the lessons in the ashes left for me. Ashes of the unfinished story, but I'll rise without the glory. Every scene we never lived through won't be where my heart will stay. And the ending that escaped us doesn't take my hope away. I rewrite what you left burning when our story lost its way. And the embers start to settle where our pages used to be, as I walk out of the ashes of our unfinished history. I kept striking match after match just to see if you'd ignite, but the cold around your heartbeat smothered every spark of light. And I held on to the embers thinking warmth was still inside, but the truth came through the silence like a winter Friday night. I was fighting for a fire you had no intention earning, till the moment I admitted it was too cold to keep burning. And it hurt to quiet, slow and deep, covering the flames that failed us in a silence meant to keep. And I stood inside the blizzard as the truth kept reoccurring. You can't warm a heart that's choosing to stay too cold for burning. And the moment I stepped backwards was the moment I felt free, letting go of all the fire you could never give to me. Too cold to keep burning, but my heart is finally turning. All the flames that once betrayed me fade like lessons I'm unlearning, and the warmth I'm moving toward now feels like hope that's undeterred, leaving you inside the winter that was too cold to keep burning. And the frost behind me settles on a love I'm not returning, walking forward from the ashes of what's too cold to keep burning. Our fire used to glow so brightly, lighting shadows on the wall. But the flames grew tired slowly till they barely burned at all. And the warmth that once felt endless slipped between our fragile hands, leaving echoes where the heat was turning love to drifting sand. Now I see our burning moments like they're haunting what we chose, little flickers in the silence where our fire turned to ghosts. And I feel them in the stillness, all the sparks we once composed. Now they wander like reminders of a fire turned to ghosts. Our fire turned to ghosts, shadows where we needed most. Every heartbeat we ignited now feels faded, lost and close. And the warmth you never gave me haunts the places we came close. I'm surrounded by the remnants of our fire turned to ghosts. I can hear the embers whisper, calling softly through the night, like they're reaching for a body that no longer holds the light. And the memories keep circling like a quiet spectral flame, touching corners of my ribcage where you once had carved your name. But the fire died so slowly, I mistook it for repose, till I woke inside a story where our fire turned to ghosts. And I still feel phantom warmth there in the places we got close, but the truth echoes much colder from a fire turned to ghosts. Our fire turned to ghosts, shadows where we needed most. Every heartbeat we ignited now feels faded, lost and close. And the warmth you never gave me haunts the places we came close. I'm surrounded by the remnants of our fire turned to ghosts. Maybe love becomes a haunting when you let the fire die, when the ashes fill the silence and the truth wears its disguise, and the hearts that once were burning turn transparent through the pain, leaving only ghostly traces in the cold that still remains. I've been walking through the shadows of a flame that never stays, learning how to stop expecting ghosts to warm my future days. Our fire turned to ghosts, but I'm breathe a world beyond us where our fire turned to ghosts. I felt the weight begin to soften as the night fell slow and deep, like the shadows knew my secret, that I cried myself to sleep. And the fire we once lived under finally dimmed its final glow, leaving nothing but the quiet and the smoke from letting go. I walked through the fading embers where our memories used to live, found the pieces we abandoned when we had no more to give. And the pain felt strangely lighter in the truth I came to know. Sometimes healing starts by breathing the smoke from letting go. Fear the empty spaces where your echoes lingered long, but the silence doesn't hurt now, like a half-forgotten song. And the things I kept remembering start to lose their choking. All the fire that once owned me now grows quiet, faint and cold. I still see your ghost in moments, but it's softer than before, like a breath that's fading gently through a half-closed distant door. And I'm learning that my freedom doesn't need a perfect show, just the courage to keep standing in the smoke from letting go. The smoke from letting go, rising slow, dissolving low. Every hope I kept for us to floats like ash across the snow. And I feel my chest grow lighter as the winds begin to blow, watching love turn into vapor and the smoke from letting go. Maybe heartbreak slowly fades like a flame that's lost its fight. Maybe healing's in the ashes that drift softly through the night. And I don't need all the answers, I don't need to always know why the fire stopped its burning or how the smoke began to grow. What I know is that I'm breathing deeper than I did before, and each exhale sends a memory drifting out my broken door. as I walk out from my ruins through the smoke from letting go. There's a cold I can't stop feeling, even when the room is warm. Like the echo of your leaving still has shape and weight and form. And the emptiness you left me built a season I can't shake. A December buried softly where my heart begins to ache. I keep holding on to shivers even though the fire's staged. You left something frozen inside winter in my ribcage. And I breathe but feel the frost still in the spaces you engaged. All the warmth you failed to give me left a winter in my ribcage. Winter in my ribcage, cold beneath the heartbreak's edge. Every moment that you touched me left a frost on every page. And the fire I keep searching for feels too distant to upstage. All that's left of us is freezing like a winter in my ribcage. I've been tracing every heartbeat, trying hard to thaw the pain. But the chill beneath my breathing holds your ghost in its domain. And the memories keep snowing in the corners of my chest. Like a blizzard made of longing, I can't quiet or rest. I still hear your name in echoes where my heart once felt engaged. Now the silence settles deeper as a winter in my ribcage. And I wonder if you feel it, all the warmth we disengaged. Or if I'm the only one who carries winter in her ribcage. Winter in my ribcage, cold beneath the heartbreak's age. Every moment that you touched me left a frost on every page. And the fire I keep searching for feels too distant to upstage. All that's left of us is freezing like a winter in my ribcage. Maybe healing takes a season, maybe warmth returns in waves. Maybe someday I'll remember how a heart that breaks behaves. And I know the ice is melting, even if it's slow to fade. Even if the chill still lingers in the snow that you once made. But I'm learning not to fear it, learning how to disengage. Letting spring begin its whisper through the winter in my ribcage. Winter in my ribcage, but it's losing its old rage. Every frozen word you left me starts to crack along the stage. And the warmth I'm growing into helps the cold begin to age. I'm defrosting all the shadows of the winter in my ribcage. And I breathe a little softer as the frost begins to fade, leaving space for something brighter than the winter you once made. I watch the fire lose its color, turn to shadows in the night. Every spark that once felt holy, fading soft beyond my sight. And the warmth that held me captive slowly slipped between the seams, till the light became a whisper of the love we failed to dream. I kept hoping for a flicker, just a spark to turn the tide, but the truth fell down around me when the last flame died. And the silence felt like mercy, where the heartbreak used to hide. I could finally hear my breathing when the last flame died. When the last flame died, all our memories were untied. Every moment we kept fighting for, lost its reason to abide. And the ashes told the ending in a soft unspoken guide. I found freedom in the quiet when the last flame died. Last flame died. I had carried all the embers, thinking somehow they'd ignite, but the cold beneath your distance held the fire far from sight. And the hope I kept defending finally learned to say goodbye, as the smoke turned into starlight in the corners of the sky. I don't blame you for the ending or the warmth you never tried. Some loves burn until they're empty, then the last flame dies. And the truth felt strangely gentle, like a wave I couldn't guide, but it washed away the hurting when the last flame died. When the last flame died, every tear I fought I tried. All the colors we kept dreaming of lost their need to coincide. And the fire that once claimed me finally opened up the sky. I stepped forward to my healing when the last flame died. Maybe love is meant to flicker, maybe pain is meant to heal. Maybe all the broken pieces find their purpose when they feel. And I know I'll hold the memory of the warmth we never tried, but I won't keep chasing shadows from the night our flame complied. You were fire, you were winter, you were lost, I had to ride, but I found myself in ashes when the last flame died. When the last flame died, I found strength I kept inside. Every echo of our heartache faded softly with the tide, and the world fell wide and open with no cold left to divide. I became my own beginning when the last flame died. And the ashes turn to silence as the dawn begins to glide, leaving peace inside the shadows from the night the last